Today, we're going to be going deep to see the connection between God, economics, and human prosperity. Because from Adam Smith to Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, many of the world's greatest economic thinkers tried to build systems to help explain how nations become rich and how societies can function. Now let's talk about Adam Smith, the so-called father of capitalism. He believed that when individuals begin to pursue their own self-interest, that an invisible hand guides the market to produce good for everyone. This sounded brilliant for a while, but over time, this invisible hand became blind, so that the capitalist no more chases after justice and fairness. They rather pursue greed, competition, and exploitation. Why? Because the moral compass in which Adam Smith built his philosophy or idea from, it was built on human sympathy, not divine truth. Human conscience. And the Bible tells us in Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9 that the heart of man is deceitful above all things. So, when the sovereign God is ignored, when the sovereign God is not the center of the economy, self-interest becomes selfishness and the market loses its soul. Then came Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. They saw, or they looked into the broken promises of capitalism, or whatever it was that Adam Smith propounded and brought to the economy of the world, or to the economic system of the then world. So they felt like to answer the challenges of that particular time. And what was the problem? The problem of industrialization. The challenges of the capitalist industrialization and all of those problems that you have with capitalism. And what was that? They saw into the sufferings of workers and they wanted solutions. They wanted to fix that problem. And what was that? Equality. They wanted an equal economy where there was no difference between the rich and the poor. They wanted people to share everything in common, so that in that they also ignored and they pushed God away from the equation. You see, it was Karl Marx that said religion is the opium of the people. Now, instead of turning to God for moral balance, they turn to man. But you know what? Whenever man tries to solve his own problem, when man tries to save himself aside from God, doing away with God, he, at the end of the day, becomes his own oppressor. You see, both capitalism and communism, or you may say socialism, are all human attempts to fix a divine problem. Smith trusted the market, Marx trusted the masses, and none of them trusted the maker. And that is why we are still here. In a world with so much wealth but without peace, so much resources without righteousness, so many innovation without compassion. So what is the solution? The solution is not in human systems, but in stewardship. The Bible tells us in Psalm 24 verse 1 that the earth is the Lord and its fullness thereof. The idea is that humans will come to that point and realize that all that we experience, all that we have, all that we define as matter is the Lord's, is owned by God. No man can possess these things, because you see, everybody tried to possess these resources, and in our attempt to possess them, we make them scarce. You know, it was Gandhi that said that our needs has been provided for, not our greed. But when we chase after acquiring resources to own them as our possessions so that others cannot access them, we make them scarce. And so the definition of economics by Adam Smith, the management of scarce resources, how to make wealth with scarce resources. But the earth is the Lord and its fullness thereof. And what we learn about from creation is that God created a perfect world, a world that everybody was supposed to come and access and have all that he has given. By the way, it was a command for man to multiply. So God is not afraid about our multiplication. But in economics and the world systems of economics, we are afraid about our multiplication, because we think when we multiply, the resources will not be available for us to make use of. This means that wealth is not about possessions. It's all about responsibility. It's not all about profit. It's all about purpose. Have you discovered your purpose? And trade, of course, is not about exchange, it's about love for neighbors. You see, when we talk about biblical economy, it is an economy that God is at the center of it. Every other economy can be selfish because every government will want to be responsible for its own people and citizens, but God is responsible for humanity. And so if you and I will go and start treating economy from the biblical perspective as stewards, we would be seeing it from the lenses of God and treat our neighbors with love rather than trying to be greedy or to make them suffer and then to prove that you are one powerful landlord or owner or possessor. It's not about that. It's not about being a capitalist here. It's about being a friend of God, making use of the resources He has given to man, and then helping people to access resources in such a way that you don't enslave them, you don't cause them ruin, you don't cause them pain.